The Bose QC35s were the first noise-canceling headphones I ever reviewed, and they're still some of the best. But in the years since they debuted, I found I was leaving them on the shelf more and more often in favor of newer models from other companies with more features. Well, these are Bose's answer to that, and they've catapulted the company back to the top of the heap when it comes to travel headphones. It's impossible for me to talk about the Bose 700s without bringing up the most impressive travel headphones of 2018, the Sony XM3s. These were the headphones that ultimately replaced my Bose QC35s, so it makes sense that Bose adopted many of their features. Just like on the Sonys, you can swipe the side of the 700s to change volume or skip tracks. You can charge them with USB-C instead of the antiquated micro USB. 15 minutes gets you 3.5 hours of use. And instead of the all-or-nothing noise canceling of the QC35s, you can tell the 700s exactly how much of the outside world you want let in. Or left out.
Noise cancellation 10.
That noise canceling is really what puts Bose over the top here. Crank it up to 10 and the roar of airplane and train engines evaporates. Turn it down to 0, and you don't just get no ANC, you get outside noise actively piped in alongside your audio, so you can see if the cabin crew is telling you something important or just trying to sell you a credit card.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just closed in 10,000 feet. If you'd like to use your laptop computer at this time, please feel free.
Set it to level 5, and you can split the difference. This is usually my go-to setting for sidewalk strolls. The quality of the cancellation is softer too, somehow. Maybe it's the symphonic sound effect that masks the transition. It's just a gentler feeling than the previous generation's aggressive isolation. The best thing about the 700s is you get those features without as many compromises as the Sonys. The 700s weigh almost exactly the same as the XM3s, but they feel much lighter because they don't clamp down on your head like a vice. Also, you can pair them to more than one device at once, and that pairing process is much simpler because of the voice guidance. It sounds like a simple thing, but so many other headphone makers fall down when it comes to the voice assistant, and that's a huge oversight for a device that doesn't have a screen.
Battery 5 hours and 30 minutes. Connected to Galaxy Note 10.
The 700s also correct the 3 major complaints I had with the QC35s. 1, a blowing wind will no longer give you a harsh static sound in your ears. 2, tracks with extra bass no longer blow out, and the soundstage is more dynamic on the whole. And 3, you can carry on a voice call and be understood, thanks to vastly improved microphones. The callers still said I sounded better on a phone, but it's a night and day difference compared to the QC35s. And even after all those improvements, battery life is still 20 hours of playback between charges. That's a transcontinental round trip on one charge, with charge to spare. The compromises aren't enough to curtail my recommendation, but you need to know about them all the same. For wired connections, Bose is still using a 2.5 to 3.5 millimeter cord, less convenient than the more common 3.5 to 3.5. The company says it did this to save space in the casing, so it could make the headphones nicer looking and more acoustically performant. The ear pads are made of a similar soft material to those on the QC35s, which means they're very comfortable, but also probably will end up looking like this after a year or so. And they leave unsightly rings on tabletops after just a few weeks of use. It's really gross. There's a software bug that inaccurately reports battery life the first time you power these on after charging them. Bose says it has a fix in the works for this. The app can be a real pain if you're using these across multiple phones. And finally, the buttons are very small and very shallow, which makes them at once harder to feel out and easier to press accidentally. I miss the sure-thing switch and chunky buttons of the 35s. For a buck under $400, maybe that sounds like one too many sacrifices. But I'll just say it, it's not. Even though I still love my B&O headphones for style and sound quality, and my XM3s for value, you sacrifice features on the former and comfort on the latter. The Bose 700s are pricey, but they're also the best headphones you can get if you live your life on the road. Folks, let me know what headphones you're shutting out the world with, and if you enjoyed this review, please subscribe to the Mr. Mobile on YouTube. This review produced with a retail set of Bose 700 headphones purchased by Mobile Nations. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay mobile, my friends.